Hey guys, welcome back to Cherry Hill Farm. I'm back. I know it's been a while, but my youngest son encouraged me to get back to making videos. To be honest with you, I hadn't really had a lot of interest in it, but I've been picking up a lot of subscribers lately, and my youngest son asked me the other day why I wasn't making any videos. He missed them. So here we are. I just wanted to give you a little update on what we got going on. It is, I guess, the last week of September, and broccoli is coming along nice. We opted, after getting advice from some farmers that I know, we decided not to lay plastic and plant it on plastic. We decided to just plant it on bare dirt. And plastic's just such an expenditure, and broccoli is a pretty short crop, and planting it in the fall like this, there's nothing else we could do with the plastic after the broccoli. So but it's coming along really nice. It's actually not even irrigated. It's in a river bottom, but we're getting sufficient rainfall, and it's getting off to a really good start. I cultivated it yesterday, and the guys hoed it out this morning, and what I'm down here for now was to just check on it and see how it looked, but also we're going to plant the rest of our greens over here behind me, where you see there's nothing. The intent was for this entire field to be broccoli, but things don't always go as planned, and we got some damping off, or pythium, in our greenhouse, and it spreads like wildfire with the irrigation in the greenhouse, and it wiped out a considerable amount of our plants. So we did not have enough plants to plant this whole field, but we are going to make the best of it. We're going to plant some collards, kale, turnips, and mustard. So a lot of times people around here will mix those all up and plant them in one big patch, but I'm going to plant them separately in different patches so that we can pick them separately, sell them separately. And what I've got here is a new to me little toy. It's a little handheld earthway, and you can just barely open this thing up. And I've never really had a good way of spreading greens, but this little spreader will just barely open, and hopefully it's going to do a pretty good job of spreading greens. If you're not familiar with greens, all of them are tiny. Where it says in the Bible, the faith of a mustard seed, I'll put that into perspective for you. These are mustard seed. That's why it's so difficult to get them spread evenly. But hopefully this little spreader is going to do a good job for us. Let's check it out and see. So I'm going to plant the collards up here closest to the front, because they're most popular. Well, one of the most popular, them and kale probably, but I want quickest access to them, so we're going to start with these collards and see how this does. Well, today is just all about sowing. We sowed those greens, and now we are going to sow some annual ryegrass in our strawberry fields in the black plastic rows. The reason that we plant ryegrass is because it thrives in cold weather. We plant it between the strawberry rows, of the black plastic rows where we plant the strawberries, to hold the weed pressure down. If the ground's shaded out, then weeds can't germinate. So the idea is we get this sowed, and we've got 2 weeks before our plant date on strawberries, and that'll give the ryegrass, hopefully, we're going to get some slow rain here in a couple of days, what the forecast says. Hopefully it's going to water this stuff in, and it'll get up a little bit, and it'll be all washed off of the black plastic, and we'll be ready to plant berries. The reason we plant ryegrass, as I said, it grows well in the wintertime. And last year I thought, I'm gonna get smart, I'm gonna plant fescue, because Kentucky 31 fescue is about the same price as this annual ryegrass, and I just thought the fescue would last longer, and when we plant pumpkins I would spray the rows, I'd spray over the field again, and I'd still have a nice fescue buffer around the field. Well, that was a poor decision. The fescue did not overwinter as well as the ryegrass would have, and come April, when the ryegrass would have been half knee high, and I could have gone over and sprayed the whole field with like Volunteer or Post, which will kill grass but won't kill the strawberries. Instead of having half knee high annual ryegrass, I had fescue that was like 3 inches tall. It didn't shade the ground well. It did hold the dirt in place, but it didn't take off like the ryegrass would have, and I ended up not having the cover, and I had some weed problems because of it. So take the hard lesson that I've already learned if you're thinking about doing this. But it is essential. I would not recommend growing strawberries without planting ryegrass in your row middles. The weed pressure will just be, it'll wear you out trying to keep the weeds down for such a long season crop. So anyway, we're going to get some ryegrass slung on this field, and hopefully I'm going to come back tomorrow with a 4-wheeler and a piece of chain link fence and hit the driveways and the ends of the rows. Me and the guys yesterday, I had the box scrape, and they took shovels and buttoned the ends of the rows up, and I scraped the field down, got it pretty slick. So let's get this seed sown. So this is what a strawberry field, or any plastic mulch field for that matter, should look like after you get done laying it, in my opinion. A lot of different ways to do things, but this is the way I like for it to be done. We come through, and I take a box scrape and get the remainder of the dirt that's drug up on the ends. We bury the plastic down nice and neat, pull the drip tape up through the top of the bed, and you can see where the guys are really good at this. They can tell where the water needs to run in order for there to be no water standing in the beds. So you can see they've got a little bit of a trench cut down the front so that the water is going to run out of this. This field's a little funny, kind of chopped up. When we lay plastic for strawberries, we have to make sure that our row covers are going to fit. So the fields are 195 feet long, roughly, and some of them are only 100. We've got different size row covers, but that's kind of the reason for the hodgepodge of different sized plots that we have going on here. And I turned the ones at the bottom of the hill the opposite direction because I didn't want this water racing down this hill and causing all of my topsoil that's up here to end up down there. So that's the reason we got them turned in different directions. But it's not going to affect anything other than hooking up the irrigation, make it a little bit interesting. But if you're wondering how all this takes place, I've got a couple of the videos on getting strawberry field prep, I believe they're called. And I've also got a couple of other videos on just in general on laying plastic mulch. So if you're wondering how all that happens, you can check those out. But I'm going to leave you with some clips of spreading this grass seed, and I appreciate you watching. I'm going to try to get started back on putting out a video every week. Here in a couple weeks I'm going to make a video about us planting strawberries. But thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I put out a new video, and I appreciate you.